What is your name and where are you from?
Okay, I'm Lilian, Alba, and I'm from Colombia.
What are you doing in Panama?
Okay, I'm doing an internship at Smithsonian Tropical Research Institute, and half of my time I'm working in someone else's project, looking for monkeys, for white-faced capuchins, and with the idea to make some anti-predator experiments using a fake ocelot. And we are watching, this is the ocelot. And we are watching the behaviors that the monkeys display when they find the ocelot. And the other half of my time I'm working, I'm learning some new approaches for analyzing data about movement patterns. I have like a data set from a monkey species in Colombia that I took when I was doing my bachelor thesis, and I'm learning these new approaches with the idea to analyze the movement patterns.
So what is your big question?
Okay, I want to know, or I would like to respond, what or how much space do these groups of tamarins, they are white-foot tamarins, how much space do they need to live in a forest, and how do they interact in terms of the space, like neighboring groups between each others.
Mm-hmm. So what is your hypothesis?
Okay, I was expecting that this different group would have small home ranges, given that they are living in a fragmented forest, and I was expecting that they wouldn't be able to cross, like to move between different fragments. And the second hypothesis is, given that they are considered as a territorial species, I was expecting that they weren't going to share a lot of space. They were going to have like an exclusive, like an area of exclusive use.
What observations are you making?
Okay, in this case, my observations are positions in a two-dimensional space. That means X and Y coordinates, and with like those are my observations.
And how do you collect that data?
Okay, before to collect the data, and I captured and radio marked like at least one individual belonging from different groups, and then I radio market and them, and with the receiver device I'm able to pick up this signal.
Do you always find what you expect? What happens when you don't get the answer you expected?
Okay, we usually don't find what we are expecting, but that's why science is so interesting, because for example in this case as I told you before, we were expecting these groups to have small home ranges, and what we found is they have larger home ranges. That means that they are able to cross between fragments even when there is a lack of vegetation between the fragments. And the other thing that we found was they don't have exclusive or areas of exclusive use, and that means that maybe they are using the same places but at different moments. They are overlapping a lot, and we were expecting that they weren't going to share, because they were supposed to be a territorial species. And okay.
What happens now?
Okay, now that means that we have to state a new hypothesis, because we are not finding what we were expecting, and now I'm trying to test if what is happening is they are just using the same places at different moments. But
what happens now?
Okay, now we need to state a new hypothesis about this, and that's why I'm here. I'm trying to, with these new approaches that I'm learning, I'm trying to solve the mystery.
How do you share your results?
Okay, we share our results depending on the aims of the research. One of the ways that we have is a rigorous way. It's more formal, and it's limited to a more academic environment, and the other way is more addressed to non-academic people or community, but it's really important to be able to transmit the information, because sometimes the people who is taking or making the decisions are not in part of the academic environment.
Why is your research important?
Okay, my research is important because the species that I'm studying is an endemic species and is endangered. Because it's an endemic species, we are the only country which is responsible to protect it, and that means that no one else could do that. And this is the first time that someone captured them and radio marked them, and we are finding in behavioral and ecology information about this species that is going to make us able to make the correct and effective management and conservation strategies. And when the information about ecology and behavior that we are finding, now we are able to make better decisions about the conservation and management for this species that is unique around the world.